The Hennepin County Library wants to remove any barriers that may keep people from using the library. One change they've made is auto-renewing materials before they are considered overdue.
It actually has reduced 75% of our fines, and so we're really excited about that.
The library has made other inroads toward reducing access barriers. It has dropped the $1 fee for replacing lost library cards, and patrons can reserve meeting rooms and use library materials and computers even if they have fines on their accounts. Hennepin County Library's interim director says policies like that are part of the overall mission.
It's all in service of making sure that the wide variety of services that we provide to the community is available to the community and is available across Hennepin County.
Library officials say their reaction from patrons so far has been very positive. The Hennepin Healthcare Clinic in Brooklyn Park is wrapping up a major expansion project. They are expanding its healthcare services to the Northwest Metro.
We've added a lot more specialties and a lot more of our primary care providers here, so we can offer a lot more visits to our patients each day.
The clinic has more than doubled in size. There are now 48 exam rooms, including an on-site pharmacy, which officials say was badly needed. Before the addition, people who were on the Hennepin Healthcare low-income prescription plan had to go to another location to fill medicine. The clinic also added a therapy gym. In 2018, the Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center clinics merged, but the Brooklyn Park location didn't have space for all the services.
We had to send them to other facilities, which was a really hardship for our patient. So as soon as we were able to finish the first step of our build in February, we were able to add our PT and our OT, and then we slowly added other rooms so that our chiropractor and our acupuncturist could join us as well.
The public is invited to an open house on September 20th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. The long-term comprehensive plan for the Crystal Airport has cleared another hurdle. Studies by the Metropolitan Airports Commission and the FAA determined that future plans for the airport do not need a more rigorous environmental impact study. That means a plan to lengthen one runway by about 480 feet can go forward. The parallel runway next to it will also be eliminated and turned into a taxiway. And there's good news for pilots of older style tail-wheel airplanes, which many say do better on softer ground than pavement. The turf runway that had at one time been proposed for removal will be shortened but still remain. Additionally, about 80 trees are slated for removal. There's concern they'll grow tall enough to be dangerous for airplanes landing and taking off. MAC officials say while Crystal Airport is small, it's a vital part of the area's aviation picture.
Crystal continues to have steady traffic. It's an important asset for that part of the metro for pilots. This is a plan that it modernizes the airfield to a degree, makes it more safe, better operation.
The project goes out for bid next spring with construction starting in the summer. MAC says work could stretch into 2021. A Crystal couple is creating a lot of buzz at the Minnesota State Fair. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us how the first-time vendor Puzzle Twist is keeping people guessing.
This is crazy. We had no idea what to expect.
The merchandise mart is a flurry of activity.
We got here during a rush.
And Puzzle Twist is a popular booth.
Puzzles just are very entertaining. I think they're my substitute for creating art, but I never used to finish any projects, and I will finish a puzzle.
I've always loved puzzles.
Candace Nelson and her sales crew are busy trying to keep up with the demand for their unique and unpredictable jigsaw puzzles.
This one's only available at the fair right now.
Puzzle Twist is not your typical puzzle.
This is one of my all-time favorites because I can actually do it in a reasonable amount of time.
That's because the image on the box is slightly different from the puzzle you put together.
So it's elements of surprise or fun where you experience it as you assemble the puzzle. So here's Oli and Lena. Here they're in winter gear and she's holding a pie. She's in the same area, but it's springtime now and he's caught a fish.
The unknown factor also makes things more challenging, but that's not the goal.
Our intent is to make you smile and go, ah, that's what that is.
They have more than 50 puzzles to choose from.
Oh, I love the Minnesota ones, especially the Twin Cities.
The puzzles are replicas of pictures or paintings by many talented local artists, including work by Robbinsdale artist John Roy. This puzzle is called Roadside Americana.
Broadway Pizza, that's actually where we saw the art and said, who is this guy? And tracked him down.
Some fairgoers say they can't wait to go home and start putting the puzzles together.
They're so much fun because you never know how much different it is from the cover to the actual puzzle.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The puzzles start at $22, and there are 2 editions that are only available at the State Fair. We've put a link to the Puzzle Twist website on ours. A Plymouth student is a celebrity at the Minnesota State Fair. 19-year-old Amy Kylo is this year's Princess K of the Milky Way. She attends the Association Free Lutheran Bible School in Plymouth. Photographer Dustin Scholl caught up with the princess. Where else but in the Dairy Building.
I am so privileged to be here. It's been a dream since I was a little girl to be Princess K, and to get to represent my family and all the other family farms across Minnesota is just such a privilege. It is definitely surreal. I knew I was going to get carved, but to be carved and then to have the crown on my head too it hasn't sunk in yet, and I'm just, I can't express it.
I love it. I love it. I love the whole culture around this thing, and I love the challenge of doing this. Hair is always the thing that's going to decide whether or not I'm in there for an extra hour or not. And all those little ringlets and long curly hair does present a little extra challenge, yeah.
If I see a little girl, I'll wave at the little girls. Because I know what it's like to be a little girl and to think princesses are about the coolest thing ever.
The high school football season gets started in the coming week with opening games. We're providing daily training camp reports leading into those season openers. CCX Sports Director John Jacobson has this report on Maple Grove.
It was an uncharacteristic losing season in 2018 for Maple Grove. Despite having one of the state's best running backs in Evan Hull, the Crimson finished the season 4-6. Hull and a lot of the Crimson sides up front graduated, so this year's team will have a new look.
I think we're scrappy. We're not real big, and so I'm hoping our attitudes is what carries us. We're going to be little, but I think we're going to fly around and play fast. And like I said, hopefully we're like a bunch of chihuahuas that kind of nibble your ankles off, and by the end of the game, it's hard to walk, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we're definitely not a huge team. We're not going to scare anybody off the bus, but we're definitely going to be a faster group. Our middle linebackers are really quick. It's just my size. I'm not the biggest guy out there, but we're definitely quick.
With a smaller line up front, the Crimson are changing their offense up to fit their personnel and will be running a modified veer.
It's a lot of learning, a lot of new things, a lot of getting out on the field. You have to, fix things up and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of new guys coming up, a lot of seniors that are getting more playing time, so it's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Among the offensive players back from Maple Grove in 2019 are junior quarterback Nate Elms, quarterback slot receiver Spencer Weary, fullback Herbert Fisk, receiver Luke Raymond, and lineman Tyler Weens. On defense, linebacker Anthony Gibson is a good one, and Cooper Wegscheid is a hard tackler. Both guys will likely see time on offense too. Defensive lineman Joe Bulow and linebacker Joe Schmidt are also players to watch. Perennial state football power Eden Prairie isn't on Maple Grove's schedule for the regular season, but there are still a lot of tough teams for the Crimson to battle.
You open with St. Michael, and they're going to be good, and then Totino had a lot of young kids play last year, and I know they're feeling much better about them. And then we got Edina third, and then Blaine, who finished in the final 4-4. So we're a team right now that we're trying to figure ourselves out. So every opponent's going to be a huge challenge, and we're just looking forward to playing on Friday night.
Matt Lombardi enters his 9th season at Maple Grove with a 62-25 career record. A total of 9 starters return, and as coach said, the Crimson open at St. Michael Albertville this coming Thursday night. The fall sports season is getting started at schools around the northwest suburbs in all sports. Over the past 6 weeks, we've featured some hardworking athletes who put in a lot of summer work. On our final Workout Warrior story for the summer, we visit Champlin Park. Getting up early and heading to summer training is no burden for Champlin Park senior football player Cole Fredrickson.
I love it. I love coming here every morning. I've been doing this since freshman year, so it hasn't really changed much. I think freshman year we might have started a little bit earlier, and we might have gotten done a little bit later. but it's pretty much the same thing every year. All the guys coming together, putting in work, and trying to get better for the season.
While Champlain Park's weight room was being redone this summer, the weights moved to the smaller wrestling room, but it didn't slow the work.
Last summer, I think we were a little bit upstairs and a little bit down here too, but having it all condensed into here, it makes it a little tight, but you know, we get by, we do what we can, and at the end of the day, we're just here to put in some work. So,
the first football games are next week. Cole and his teammates started preparing long ago.
Because for us, this year's football season started when we lost in the section championship game last year. And you know, the very next day it was, we need to put in all the work that we can to get ready for this season, because we want to make this season different than last season.
It's good to have a goal in mind to drive your workouts. It's something Fredrickson thinks about.
Our team goal is to make it to state, and every rep is one rep closer to the chance of making it to state, or the chance of making that one play that could, you know, set the team apart from other teams.
Fredrickson and the Rebels open the season at home against East Ridge this coming Thursday, August 29th. That's all for sports. More news after this.